Hi everyone. In this video, we will try to understand the order of operations in SQL. So here is a sample query and I'm executing this and you can see this is the result. So the engine doesn't actually execute the SQL in the way we have written. For example, we might start by writing the select statement and you might, write the entire query, but this doesn't go in this order. So you can actually see this is the order in which the SQL gets executed. To give a simple analogy to this, think of it as a kitchen where you're trying to serve some food. And your end goal is you're actually putting the food on the plate, but you don't actually start there. You actually start way before in the pantry. So if you can see this logical hierarchy, like first you'll try to gather the ingredients and then you throw out bad ingredients from that, and then you maybe try to put this in different bowls, and then you throw out some smaller bowls that are not related, and then finally you put the food on the plate, and then you'll actually deliver the order. So similarly, we will try to understand how this query gets executed. So the first condition is it starts from and join. So this is where actually the base tables, or if it is joined with another table, that gets defined, and the results are stored in some temporary table in the memory. And then on top of this, if there is a where clause, so you are trying to filter out the records from your temp table results. So that is your step 2. In step 3, you are trying to group by this result. So this is where you are logically putting them in different buckets based on, in this case, the name of the product. And then as in our fourth step, we are actually trying to filter out the results from this aggregated combination. So this is where you will actually try to say that in this example, we are trying to restrict uh, for products, if it is greater than 10,000, then yes, we are taking that up. Otherwise, we are trying to drop them, right? And then in the fifth step, this is where you are actually selecting the columns. In our case, this is where we are trying to select the product name as well as this line total, which we are calling it as total revenue. Towards the end, once you have this, we are then trying to order this, sort this entire result by total revenue in the descending order, that is from highest to the lowest. So this is how the order of execution happens whenever you write a query in SQL. It doesn't follow the traditional way of actually going from line to line from the beginning. This is how logically the execution happens, and it is also relevant to an example analogy that I shared, right? So to summarize, you don't actually start with the food on the final plate, but then you actually start from gathering the ingredients and then doing all the prep work and then finally putting it on the plate and then actually going to the delivery. So in the same way, the SQL also follows a certain hierarchy. And I hope with this example, you're able to correlate as to how the engine actually executes the SQL query. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you so much.